What if I told you that men often reveal their real emotions not through giant romantic actions or endless compliments, but through one very small thing that most women never notice? Because once you learn how to recognize this single behavior, all the mixed signals suddenly become easier to understand. The confusion starts disappearing. The guessing games stop, and for the first time, you can clearly see how he truly feels about you without needing to overthink every little thing he says or does. Most women spend so much time trying to decode words, messages, and conversations that they completely miss the quiet signs happening right in front of them. And the truth is, those quiet signs usually tell the real story every single time. Most women are paying attention to the wrong things. They focus on text messages, the speed of replies, the number of calls, or whether he says the right romantic words. They replay conversations over and over in their minds, trying to find hidden meanings. But the real secret is much simpler than that. Men usually reveal their feelings through physical behavior instead of words. Their emotions show up in tiny movements, small shifts in attention, and unconscious actions they do naturally without even realizing it. These signs are often so subtle that women completely overlook them. But once you understand what to watch for, everything changes. Suddenly his feelings become easier to read, and you stop feeling lost in confusion every time you interact with him. This is not about creating stories in your head or turning every tiny movement into a sign of love. It is about understanding natural human behavior. When a man genuinely likes someone, his body reacts before his words ever do. His guard drops. His attention changes. His behavior becomes different around the person he cares about. And these changes are incredibly hard to fake because they happen automatically. Before we go deeper, think about how many times you have wondered if a guy actually liked you or if he was simply being polite. Maybe you have spent nights replaying conversations in your mind, trying to understand what his behavior meant. If that sounds familiar, then what you are about to learn will completely change the way you look at attraction and relationships forever. Have you ever been around a guy who seemed deeply interested one moment and distant the next? Maybe he laughed at everything you said, stayed close to you, and seemed completely engaged in the conversation. Then later, he acted casual, almost confusingly calm, leaving you unsure about what was actually happening. Many women assume mixed behavior means mixed feelings, but that is not always true. Sometimes men simply communicate interest differently than women expect. Their attraction often shows through attention and body positioning instead of direct emotional expression. This is why women sometimes miss obvious signs while focusing too heavily on words. Men may not always clearly say how they feel, but their physical behavior quietly reveals what is happening underneath the surface. The truth is that most women never learn how men naturally express attraction. They expect men to communicate emotions the same way women often do, through verbal reassurance, emotional openness, and clear communication. But many men are different. Instead of speaking their feelings directly, they reveal them physically. They focus their attention differently. Their posture changes. Their movements shift without conscious thought. And if you are only listening to his words while ignoring his body language, you could completely misunderstand his feelings. A man can deeply like you while saying very little. At the same time, another man can say every perfect thing while feeling almost nothing. That is why learning to watch behavior instead of only listening to words changes everything about understanding attraction. This is not just another dating idea or random relationship advice. It is about understanding how attraction naturally works in real life. Once you recognize these physical signs, you stop wasting energy trying to guess what someone feels. You stop chasing certainty through text messages or waiting for perfect words that may never come. Instead, you begin reading the truth directly from his actions. And the most important part is that these behaviors happen naturally. They are not carefully planned. They are not rehearsed. They happen because genuine interest changes the way people physically respond to someone they are attracted to. And once you understand that, dating becomes far less confusing and far more honest. There are women who always seem to know when a man likes them. They rarely waste time feeling confused or uncertain. Meanwhile, other women constantly question every interaction and feel unsure no matter how much attention they receive. The difference is not intelligence, beauty, or luck. The difference is awareness. Women who understand attraction know where to look. They do not depend only on words or text messages. They pay attention to behavior, presence, focus, and body language. They notice the little physical changes that happen when a man becomes emotionally invested. And because of that, they avoid a huge amount of confusion that most people experience in modern dating situations every single day. Most people misunderstand how men show interest. Women often expect emotional clarity early on, but men frequently communicate attraction in quieter ways first. Their body reacts before their mouth does. Their attention changes before their words become obvious. That is why a man can appear calm on the surface while his physical behavior clearly reveals interest underneath. Maybe you have experienced this before without realizing it. Maybe there was a guy who always seemed fully engaged when speaking with you. He laughed easily around you. He stayed nearby. Conversations felt natural and intense. But because he never directly said he liked you, you convinced yourself you were imagining things. In reality, you were probably noticing genuine attraction but did not fully trust the signals you were seeing. Think about how often women replay conversations after meeting someone they like. They analyze every sentence, every emoji, every pause, every reply. They wonder why he responded quickly one day and slowly the next. They question whether he is losing interest or playing games. But most of this analysis focuses on the wrong information. The strongest signs of attraction are often happening face to face, not through a screen. When a man truly likes you, his body usually reveals it immediately. His attention sharpens, his posture changes, his focus becomes stronger. These physical responses happen naturally because attraction affects behavior on a subconscious level. And once you start noticing these patterns, you realize how much information body language quietly communicates during every interaction. Women who understand this secret have a major advantage in dating and relationships. They stop wasting emotional energy on uncertainty. Instead of obsessing over mixed signals, they focus on real signals. They know how to separate politeness from genuine attraction. They stop chasing people who are emotionally unavailable because they can immediately recognize when someone is truly invested. This creates confidence and emotional calmness. Instead of constantly needing reassurance, they trust what they observe, and that changes everything. Dating becomes less stressful, less confusing, and much more honest because they are finally paying attention to the behaviors that actually matter instead of getting distracted by surface-level details. Now let us talk about the things most women usually focus on when trying to decide if a man likes them. The first thing is texting. Women study text messages like detectives searching for clues. They count response times. They analyze emojis. They notice punctuation. They wonder why he used one word instead of another. But texting is unreliable. Some men naturally text a lot. Others hate texting even when they deeply care about someone. Some people respond slowly because they are busy, distracted, or simply not attached to their phones. Texting style often reflects personality more than emotional investment. That is why trying to measure attraction through messages usually creates more confusion instead of clarity for most women. Another thing women often focus on is frequency of contact. They think if he really liked them, he would constantly reach out. While effort does matter, this idea is not always accurate. Some men intentionally hold back communication because they do not want to seem too eager. Others become nervous around someone they genuinely like and communicate less confidently because they care too much about making mistakes. Some men are naturally independent and not heavy communicators in general. So while consistent effort is important, it still does not reveal the full truth about attraction. A man's body language in person often tells you much more than the number of texts or calls he sends during the week. Then there are words. Many women wait for verbal confirmation before trusting attraction. They look for compliments, emotional statements, or direct admissions of interest. But words can easily be misleading. Some men are naturally charming and know exactly what to say without meaning any of it. Other men struggle to express emotions verbally even when their feelings are very strong. That is why relying only on spoken words can create false confidence or unnecessary doubt. Words matter, but they are not always the clearest sign of genuine emotion. Actions and physical behavior usually reveal much more because they are harder to control consciously. The body often exposes feelings long before the mouth does. Eye contact is another thing women often misunderstand. They assume strong eye contact automatically means attraction. While eye contact can definitely signal interest, it is not enough by itself. Some people naturally maintain strong eye contact with everyone because they are confident or socially skilled. Others avoid eye contact even when deeply attracted because they feel nervous or shy. This is why single signs should never be analyzed alone. Attraction reveals itself through patterns of behavior, not isolated moments. The real truth appears when several physical signals begin happening together consistently. That combination creates a much more reliable picture of what someone genuinely feels beneath the surface. The biggest mistake most women make is focusing only on obvious surface behavior while missing deeper physical signals completely. They pay attention to compliments, messages, and conversations while ignoring the silent behaviors that reveal true emotional focus. But men often express attraction physically long before they express it verbally. Their body naturally shifts toward the person they are interested in. Their attention becomes more concentrated. Their awareness sharpens, and one specific physical behavior stands above all the others because it reveals real interest almost every single time without needing words at all. So what is this powerful behavior that reveals genuine attraction? It is simple. When a man is truly interested in you, his entire body turns toward you. Not just his face, not just his eyes. His whole physical position changes. His chest faces you. His shoulders point toward you. His feet angle in your direction. Even when surrounded by other distractions, his body naturally aligns itself with yours. This happens automatically because attraction pulls attention completely toward the person he is focused on. And the important thing is that he usually does not even realize he is doing it. Think about normal conversations people have every day. Most people only give partial attention. They might look at someone while their body points elsewhere. Their shoulders angle toward the exit. Their feet point toward another group. Their posture remains open to leaving the interaction at any moment. That is casual attention. It is polite but not emotionally invested. But when a man genuinely likes you, something changes. His body fully commits to the interaction. He physically squares himself toward you as if the rest of the environment temporarily disappears. His body quietly says, "You are where my attention is right now," even if his words remain calm or casual. This behavior matters because the body naturally follows emotional focus. When people become deeply engaged, their physical orientation changes automatically. You can see this everywhere in daily life. When someone watches something exciting, they lean toward it. When someone listens carefully, their body aligns with the source of attention. Attraction works the same way. A man who is only casually friendly may smile and maintain conversation, but his body often stays neutral. He remains physically ready to shift attention elsewhere. But a man who genuinely likes you unconsciously commits his body to the interaction because his attention becomes fully locked onto you. What makes body language so powerful is that it is very hard to fake naturally for a long time. A man may control his words, hide his emotions, or act calm through messages, but his body often reveals what he truly feels before he even notices it himself. When a man genuinely likes you, his whole body begins showing signs of emotional focus and connection. He turns fully toward you, leans in closer during conversations, and naturally tries to reduce physical distance because attraction creates a subconscious desire for closeness. At the same time, his attention becomes more focused. He stops getting distracted easily, pays less attention to the room around him, and becomes fully present in the interaction instead of constantly checking his phone or looking elsewhere. Other important signs appear naturally alongside this focused attention. His hands become more open and expressive, showing comfort and emotional openness instead of guarded behavior like crossed arms or hidden hands. He may also begin mirroring your movements without realizing it, matching your posture, tone, or energy because people naturally copy those they feel emotionally connected to. Another strong sign appears when other people join the conversation. Even while being polite to others, his body and attention usually return back to you quickly because his emotional focus remains centered on you. These small behaviors may seem simple on their own, but together they reveal genuine attraction much more clearly than words ever can. When you look at all these signs together, the truth becomes much easier to see. A man who truly likes you will naturally show it through his body, attention, and behavior. His focus becomes stronger, his posture opens up, and he feels more emotionally present around you. These actions usually happen without him even realizing it, because real attraction naturally changes how people respond to someone they genuinely care about. But many women make the mistake of overthinking these signs, testing the man, moving too fast emotionally, or ignoring their own feelings in the process. Healthy attraction grows best when there is balance, honesty, emotional openness, and mutual effort instead of pressure, confusion, or games. The key is to trust what you consistently see while also staying calm, grounded, and true to yourself. At the same time, keeping a man interested is not about becoming perfect or losing yourself inside the relationship. Men stay emotionally connected when being around you feels peaceful, genuine, and emotionally safe. That is why it is important to keep your own life, maintain your confidence, allow healthy space, and create meaningful experiences together instead of making the relationship your entire identity. Real connection grows through trust, comfort, emotional maturity, and authenticity over time. Once you stop focusing only on words and begin noticing real behavior, attraction becomes far less confusing. Most importantly, never forget your own value. A man does not fall deeply for a fake version of you. Real love and attraction grow when you stay authentic, emotionally secure, and confident in who you truly are. At the end of the day, real attraction becomes much easier to understand when you stop focusing only on words and start paying attention to natural behavior. A man who truly likes you will often show it through his attention, body language, focus, and the way he naturally responds around you. His actions become more open, more present, and more emotionally connected without him even trying to force it. Once you learn to recognize these signs, you stop feeling trapped in confusion and overthinking because you can finally see interest more clearly and confidently. But the most important lesson in all of this is to never lose yourself while trying to understand someone else's feelings. Real connection grows when both people feel comfortable, respected, and free to be themselves. Attraction is not about playing games, chasing validation, or pretending to be perfect. It grows through honesty, emotional balance, confidence, and genuine connection over time. When you stay true to yourself and learn to trust what you consistently see instead of doubting every moment, relationships start feeling healthier, calmer, and far more real.